Hey everyone, welcome back to Paper Therapy with Amy. This is a new paper pack that came out with the annual catalog and it's called Weekend Adventure. It's awesome for camping or masculine or hiking. I love it. You probably aren't that surprised. My favorite sheets are probably these three. I don't mind the stripe. I don't mind the buffalo plaid, but I find buffalo plaid in big doses kind of distracts me, and I'm not a real big fan of this one. It's just so tiny. They're little acorns, but they're so small they actually make me kind of dizzy. So I can't picture myself using that, but I love the trees, so I'll use both sides of the trees. I'll use both pieces of trees, I'm sure. When you buy the workshop, which is what I did, you only receive 2 of each sheet. Now, I wanted to show you something about Stampin' Up, and if you were used to Close to My Heart, then this might actually surprise you, unless you've already figured it out. So I'm just going to bring in my iPad here, and it's not cracked, it's the screen protector that's cracked, so don't worry about that. And we're just gonna go to the Stampin' Up website. So here I searched Weekend Adventure, and here is the workshop. It's $51 Canadian. That's because the workshop comes with a guide, which is right here. And it tells you how to use all the different pieces. It also gives you 2 extra sheets of paper. So it gives you these 2 wood grains and another dark brown set of wood grains. So 2 like this as well. And then you also get some extra, so this is the sticker sheet, but you get some extra pieces along with the workshop. So you get this pull apart or pop out sheet and this one here. And you get some sheets of just cardstock as well. So that's why your price is going to be a little bit higher with that one. And then there's the stamp set here, and it does not come with dies. And then you can get just the paper for $17, and you can get just the paper with the sticker sheet for $23.25. So those are the items that are specific to this. I don't think it's a suite, but this paper package and collection. So one thing that I didn't realize until I had ordered just the papers from the clearance rack of one paper pack is when Stampin' Up gets a paper pack that has just 3 patterned papers that are reversible. So you essentially get 6 patterns, but there's only 3 patterned papers. When that happens, it is a carryover more than likely from Close to My Heart, because that was how our paper packs were made, right? With 3 patterned papers, double-sided. And so 2 of 3 patterns, 2 of 6 patterns. I don't know how I'm saying it, but you guys know what I mean. Anyways, generally Stampin' Up's paper packs have a lot more patterned papers in them. And so in order to keep their $17 price point on this, just the papers, you have to go down here and hit show more. This is one way that I actually liked the Close to My Heart website better, because it told you right away what you got when you purchased something. Like, it shows you a picture, but it doesn't tell you what you get. It doesn't say how many of these sheets that you get. And so it never occurred to me that I would get more because it's $17 and not whatever it was, $14 when we were with Close to My Heart. Or $12 for just the papers. I can't remember. So if you read here, it says 12 sheets for each of 3 double-sided designs. So you are getting 12 sheets of paper rather than 6 sheets of paper that you used to get with Close to My Heart. So if you are finding, because these are very usable papers, I find, and even for a background, like I'll show you in a minute how I'm planning to do this layout. Oh, there's one of my pictures came straight off of there, but I think this makes an awesome background for a camping layout. And so then if I do this as a background and I'm not covering a lot of it up to gut it out, I end up with no sheets of this left for my next layout. And I love the other side as well. So it's kind of in the workshop, you get so much less of the paper, and that's kind of a bummer. But then I discovered that if I just want to replenish the paper, I could just order this for $17 and I would have now 2 sheets of each of these, or 4 sheets, because this is one, and this is one. So you get 4 of that, this combination, 4 of this combination, and 4 of this combination. And I think with the paper pack, that is the case as well, but let's check it. I want to be sure. So if you order the paper pack, it's going to be $23.25, and because that's the higher price point, again, close to my heart, I think paid $16. I can't even remember. It's been over a year, folks. So the reason is you get 13 sheets, 4 sheets of 3 double-sided designs and 1 sticker sheet. So you do get 4 sheets if you just get the paper pack as well. So it's something to think about, because when you get the workshop, you will get the extra sheets with the pop-outs and the extra pieces of paper, which is great because they're wood grains, and the extra cardstock that's back here. But you will only get 2 of each of 3 double-sided designs. 2 of 3 double-sided designs. Whereas if you're just going to get the paper pack, you're going to get 4 of the double-sided designs. So it's just something to keep in mind. And this is the case also with some other paper packs we have had as well. So one quick way to figure out if you're going to be getting more than the standard 2 sheets is to scroll through the paper packs. You can see here that this wide line is 1 sheet, and then the back side of it is the narrow line. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheets, and it's $17. But this one is 1, 2, 3 sheets, and it is also $17. So something has to give. There must be more papers in this one than this one, because they don't charge you more for less paper. And then with this one here, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets. So there was actually 3 of each in this set. So pay attention to how many sheets there are in a paper pack, because it's going to make a difference into how many that you're going to get. And with the 6x6 papers, you're going to get a lot more, simply because they're 1/4 of a sheet. So you're getting a smaller sheet. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind when you're ordering, because I didn't realize it. I usually get workshops, so I didn't realize it until I ordered an extra pack of something, and then all of a sudden there was way more papers in it, which I love, because sometimes I just want to use more layering and use more papers, and then that way I don't have to get the sticker sheet and the paper pack. I can just get more paper to add to my paper collection. But yeah, just be aware that you're going to get 4 of each of these 3 designs. For those of you who were asking me where I got this mat, I actually found it at the dollar store, Dollarama. And it was in my dollar store, it was in the automotive section. I don't know why, or the hardware section. I don't know why, but that's where it was. So I am going to start on mink paper, and it is very, very similar to, I think, basic gray, I want to say it's called, or basic beige. So that would work fine as well, but I have a lot of mink, so I want to use that. And I'm just going to bring my pictures in first thing. So I'm doing a classic camping layout, and I haven't glued these down yet. And I'm missing a picture. Of course I am. Here it is. That's the picture that you got a sneak peek of earlier. So this one is going to go there, and then I'm not sure how I'm going to do these, but I do want to have something that joins it together as one layout. And I do think I'm just going to leave a frame around the outside edge for this layout. So I really like this wood grain paper, and I think I probably want to use it on this layout. But I'm not going to use it fully behind, I don't think. I think I'm going to have a strip. I actually like it better that way, I think. I'm going to cut my strips shorter so that as they come in, they can be creating that frame around the outside without cutting into a whole sheet. if that makes sense. So I think I would like a little bit of this orange showing. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to just layer these up. So I'm not going to have this much orange showing. I'm going to do this like that. And then I definitely think I want some of the evergreens showing. So I think like this, and just a little of that orange, because I told you the orange can stress me out, but it really goes with my photos if I pull them back in, because I have the orange sunset sky, and this is actually smoke because the fires were very close to us when we were camping. So, and then I love this sheet. This is probably my favorite sheet, and it sucks that this is on the back because I like both sides, but I suppose for this side you could just splatter some mist, moonlight mist, I think it is. So I was wondering if I could kind of come down like this. This is the reason I decided to tell you about the situation where you get so many more sheets of paper, because I realized I'm going to be using a lot of paper on this layout. So obviously I would cut both of these out of one sheet, but for the sake of just trying it out right now, we're going to try it out like this. So I'm going to just put it in there as well. There we go. Let's move that for a moment. Then we're going to bring in that orange sheet again, which I did cut into a little bit. So we'll just go like that. Maybe we'll do like a smaller edge on this side because I've got a bigger amount of photos. And then I need the trees and this one. So let's put the trees like this. Let's have them the way they grow at least. And then that means this one would pop in like this. So I should glue these pictures down. I'm thinking something like this, like that. And I thought at first that this was maybe too busy to have my pictures on, but I think when they're grouped in these groups like this and with the white trim, and because this is all in the same tones, that it's actually okay. So I think I'm going to commit and do it this way. I'm going to leave, I think, a border on the bottom too. So what I'm going to end up doing is cut one of each of these sheets down a little bit, and we'll see if, now I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't do it on the bottom as well. For this one, maybe not, because then I can just have an L shape of the green, and then I don't have to have the full piece of green in there. That might be a not bad idea. But let's see how it looks once I cut a few pieces out. So I glued this down. So the reason I chose to make this one go completely from top to bottom was because it meant that I didn't have to have a full 2 sheets in behind here. I could just use this sheet, and then it kind of creates the illusion that this keeps going in behind here, and then it gives that frame as well. So I really like to do this. I just have a little piece here that I was gonna frame this out with, and then I discovered I didn't love. I suppose I could still do it like that. That's okay. I could try that. Or I could have it coming down behind these and then cut it into pieces so another piece comes down here. But I don't mind this. And I don't need the full frame because it can go up to here. So it we can kind of pretend. Let's do it this way though. Just because I like the brighter orange to go along the top. I think it's less noticeable if I've got the darker down here. So something like that. So I was thinking about using this Days Well Spent. Let's push this up a little. It's very big, but I'm also thinking like it's appropriate title for this layout. I'm gonna leave that there for now. I do want to show you, I do find that these look so much better with some ink because they look more like they belong on the page and they're not so flat looking because they have some shading to the edge. And I'm usually fairly generous with, because there is so much space around the wording. You see the difference there from I'll just put it down here so you can see it. From this side to this side, how much I like this so much better because it looks like there's shading. So that adds dimension to the page. Because it looks, inking is a way to make things look like you've popped them up, but you really haven't because you're creating a shadow. And then that adds less bulk to your layouts, and yet you still get the benefit, if that makes sense. All right. Now, if I do this, I don't love the looks of it being halfway in the middle of the page. So what I want to do in order to fix that would be to build up embellishment cluster under here so it looks like it's kind of towards the bottom of the page rather than just being right across the center. So, and the way to do that is to add more embellishments. So I'm gonna look on these sheets and see what I can find. I really like compasses, so I think I'll take this, definitely. And let's see what else there is here. Let's maybe try these because it kind of, I'm using some of that wood grain, so it goes. One of those, maybe. I could take them both because if I use one, I might want to use both. There we go. They are written on the back which project it's for, but you know me, I like to do my own thing usually. Now let's look at the sticker sheet. Because he's doing dishes, I think this is appropriate. And I know Erin cut it out, which is a good idea, but I think it might work to just leave it. I'm just gonna take the stick off. I make my own anti-static pouches by putting cornstarch in a sock and putting 2 zip ties on the end. That's just the ankle, the leg part of the sock. And then this too, I just think it really needs some inking. It's too plain to the edge. So, and we'll do this one. And this one looks like it's cut a little bit off center, but I think the inking will help hide that. Yeah, I feel like it really does. I think it's a little bit towards the top. But I'm planning to do layering with that. So let's see if there's anything else on here that I might want to use. Possibly some wordy bits. Let's just see first how I could do with these items. So this is green on green. That's okay, but you know what I'm talking. Okay, let's put that in there more like that. And then something a little more as well. So I also did create some embellishments from stamp sets from my stash. I can show you the stamp sets quickly and you can screenshot them in case you have any of them. I have this one here, Adventure Badges. It's hard to see, but that's where this is from. And I have this one here. I did the mountain, the tent, and the more the merrier. This one, and this is Happy Trails. This one here was a stamp of the month. It doesn't say what the name is, but I used Happy Camper and the mountain strip here. And this one here, I just used these trees because I felt like they matched the trees on this paper. And it has a buffalo strip too, which is kind of fun. So those are the stamp sets that I used, and then I put everything in this. I got this at the thrift store, but I see everything can slide underneath here, so I might not want to keep it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I did my trees in Old Olive. I do have Old Olive, and then I used pine to dupe Mossy Meadow, and it's pretty close, I think. I think it's close enough. And then I have some mountains here, and I also, the Adventure Badges also have a little camper, and I just fussy cut all of these out. Oh, I do like this little tent here. It needs something orange in this little set up over here. So that's really cute. And then maybe some of these trees would be cute in here as well. I'm wondering if I should use the trees instead of these funny stars. As I was beefing up this area under the banner, I realized I didn't really like that coffee pot because it felt really out of scale to me compared to the little scene I was creating. So I decided not to use it on this layout. And as I was arranging this, I did take some inspiration from the workshop, not the layout itself, but the embellishment clusters sometimes can give you ideas of how to use the stickers or elements that they give you in the workshop. In the workshop, there is one embellishment cluster that has a bunch of banners stacked with some other embellishments kind of above that as a base. And I really liked that, so I thought I could maybe emulate that with one of these or several of these banners. I do end up adding more later on. But I started with this orange one, which is from a stamp set that I had that I showed you earlier, and it says, "The s'more the merrier." This is the point where I adjusted that title banner as well to be moved over a little bit, just so that you wouldn't see that awkward little square that was the green paper with the trees on it. There was just a little square of it showing between the photos and the banner and the other paper, and I decided to just move it over so you couldn't see that. I also wanted to create another embellishment at the top right and then down at the bottom right where I'll also add journaling. So that gives me kind of a visual triangle. This was a lovely camping trip. The picture above the title is of a sunset the first night, but the other pictures with an orangish hue to them are actually when there was forest fires around us and the smoke was getting very close to us, and you could see it just coming over the lake there. And then I took a picture straight up because it gave everything this like weird golden glow. And I have to laugh at that picture of my husband. He can sleep anywhere, and he's having a nap on the picnic bench, and must have been hot out because he had his shirt off. So it's just kind of fun. I do also want to ask you, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, please do that. It really helps me out with the algorithms on YouTube. I'd also love to have you as a subscriber if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet. And if you are Canadian, one more way you can support me is you can scroll down and find my name down below. I have it written out there for you. And then you can place that in the demonstrator spot when you make an order at Stampin' Up, and then I will receive some commission from that. And right now, or forever after, I think, Stampin' Up now has a program where you receive 10% back of every purchase that you make to spend on your next purchase. I was really glad I made a lot of these little trees because they just worked so well when they were clustered together as a little forest. And I just really enjoy the way these embellishments came together on this layout. I really feel this paper has such an outdoor camping vibe. I love it. I think it would be great to use for any kind of hiking or a walk in any trees or forests as well. Just the compasses and the trees, it seems to all fit. I did add a few more trees to the end of that title banner because I felt like it needed something there, and that way that banner is just kind of sitting in those trees, which I love. Well, here's the finished layout with my little scene that kind of goes, and I like the title a lot better worked into a scene. And then I tried to tie in, because this has a lot of pictures, it takes up a lot of space, so I just tried to tie in the stuff from this side onto this side with all the colors. And I added a few little stars from my stash. Those are from my Close to My Heart days. I just thought they worked well. I don't have occasions to use stars a lot, but I thought they worked well with camping, looking at the stars at night. So that is it for me today. If you want to see more camping layouts, I'll put those on the screen right now. And thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Bye.